If you master the basic cooking techniques, you can build your confidence, cooking skills, and repertoire.
Cooking is so easy once you understand the basics.
And there's no better teacher than legendary Michelin-starred chef Raymonde Blanc.
I feel like Picasso. Not quite.
He wants to share what he's learnt in his professional kitchen.
What is the Maillard reaction? Gives flavor, color, and taste to the food.
To help you achieve incredible results at home.
That's kind of dish you will remember all of your life.
Raymonde will reveal the secrets behind the simple techniques at the heart of every dish.
If you go too high, you burn it. If you go too slow, nothing happens, it goes beige, like English cuisine 40 years ago.
From baking to roasting, poaching to frying, barbecuing and slow cooking.
Oh la la, and I mean oh la la.
And all in his own unique way.
De dormir avec toi.
Raymonde Blanc taught himself to cook. Now he will teach you.
What I promise to give you is a deep understanding of what's happening in your saucepan, in your oven. And these techniques will help you become a better cook.
Roasting is an extremely popular technique, very at home in the British kitchen. It adds colour, flavour and depth to any meal. Roasting is cooking an ingredient in the dry heat of an oven using fat or oil to keep the surface of the food moist whilst the inside cooks slowly.
For me, roasting conjures up all sorts of wonderful smell in your kitchen. I think of Sunday lunch, I think of tradition. I think this wonderful smell of roasting invading your kitchen. What I'd like to share with you is all that knowledge acquired in 40 years and to try to take the guesswork out. Because when you see that roast, you have no idea. Is it cooked? Is it not cooked? I will equip you with total knowledge and confidence, and you know what's happening in that roast.
Roasting gives great results to many foods, from vegetables to fruit and fish, as well as juicy joints of meat. And a great place to start with this technique is a roast rib of beef, served with Yorkshire pudding and roast potatoes. The traditional Sunday roast.
There's something really wonderful when you go in the kitchen, you have a nice piece of roast beef. It's something very special, especially when it's a Frenchman cooking a roast beef, because of course we all know too well the incredible connotation. We call you roast beef, you call us frog. So all I'm going to do is to prepare my beef. I'm going to do French trimming my roast beef. I love that.
French trimming removes the flesh and fat from the bones, leaving them exposed. It gives the beef a smart look and can be done by the butcher or at home. Nothing goes to waste. The offcuts are used as the foundation of the dish to add flavour.
Brown them lightly, okay? Gives flavor, color, and taste to the food. And that's going to be a bed on which the meat is going to sit.
Once the meat trimmings have taken on some colour, add onion, carrot, garlic and thyme, and water will create a wonderful jus.
That will take about 10 minutes to at high heat.
Next, score the surface of the beef. This allows the surrounding dry heat of the oven to penetrate deep into the flesh.
Voila.
The roasting bed becomes a trivet, which elevates the rib of beef, stopping it from sticking to the base of the tin and allowing the hot air to circulate so it can cook evenly.
I've got my preheated oven at 170 degrees, and I'm going to roast this beef for 2 hours.
Unlike grilling or pan frying, where direct heat quickly cooks the food through contact, oven roasting is a slower, indirect and more uniform way to cook.
Now, all the secrets of this beef are going to be revealed. God, don't have any more. All the secrets of this beef will be revealed through this probe here. I know exactly what's going on. I'm in control, I'm in charge, I'm the boss. I think so. You see?
Baste the beef every 20 minutes. The juices prevent the meat becoming dry, adding colour as it roasts. While the rib of beef roasts with its French trimming, Adam has come to offer a very British touch.
So I know a lot about roasting, but not very much about Yorkshire pudding. So I thought I would invite my lovely friend Adam because he knows everything about Yorkshire pudding.
Okay, so my mum's recipe.
My recipe, good.
My mum's recipe is equal amounts. So I've got 200 flour,
Okay.
200 milk, and 4 medium eggs.
Okay. There's a lot of lumps here, Adam.
That's okay. So we're going to leave this to rest for half an hour once it's mixed, and then we're going to cook it the same time as our roast potatoes. Ça va?
See, Adam has eaten a lot of Yorkshire pudding.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No?
Okay, there we go.
Lovely and smooth, perfect. Lovely, Adam. Okay, Mti.
Yeah, I'll put that in the fridge.
After 2 hours roasting in the oven, the beef is medium rare and ready to come out.
Moment of truth here. Ah, gorgeous. Look at that. So, what is fascinating, the temperature here is 40 degrees. Okay, and that temperature will go up to 60 within half an hour. I mean, your beef will be perfectly medium. If you want it medium rare, you put a temperature of 35 degrees inside, and it will go to 55. Most people basically rest the meat, thinking it's just for resting. Okay, the temperature stays static. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because the temperature has got momentum, it's got energy, and it goes up. In 5 minutes, it says already gone up at 48 degrees. That's how fast it is. So I'm going to let my beautiful beef rest. What Adam is creating for me is Mum's Yorkshire pudding.
The Yorkshire puddings go into the oven at 170 degrees for 30 minutes. The same time, the parboiled potatoes need to get perfectly crisp, and for the resting beef to reach the optimum temperature and a medium rare finish.
The first cut, people throw it away. That's one of my favorite ones. Beautiful. Your mum will be proud of you. No doubt about it.
I'm sure she is.
The strained juices from the roasting tray create an instant, delicious gravy.
You have a fantastic Sunday lunch. Let's eat my beef.
My beef.
That beef is absolutely delicious. Yorkshire pudding is light and crispy and tastes lovely. Really, I think a Yorkshireman should be very happy. A Shropshireman too.
Shropshireman.
You say Shropshire?
Shropshire.
Roasting is a great technique for foods that have a firm structure, like the beef joint. But it can also work well on a robust fish. Meaty fish with dense flesh, like turbot, is perfect for roasting, as it can withstand the high heat. A more delicate fish would burn. In this next recipe, turbot roasts on a bed of herbs and spices, taking in their flavors as it cooks. Served with braised fennel from Raymond's vegetable garden at Le Manoir and a buttery sauce, this is a wonderfully fresh dish packed with an assortment of aromas.
The recipe I'm going to do is a very almost ancient recipe, still beautiful, because classics, they defy time, they defy fashions, okay? And this dish is so beautiful and so simple. So I'm going to put a bit of olive oil here.
The olive oil prevents the turbot steaks sticking as they cook.
Okay, so olive oil, très hop, voilà. Very gently, you just... Lovely, perfect.
A few minutes in a griddle pan will begin the browning process, as the fish isn't roasted long enough in the oven for it to change color.
So now, I'm going to prepare my roasting bed. Okay, I've got this beautiful fennel here. When you dry it, it's amazingly aromatic. Okay, a bit of sage, whatever you have, throw it in, a bit of thyme, a few zest of orange. Okay, star anise. Oh, that is lovely.
The turbot will rest on a bed of fresh and dried herbs and spices. It will be infused with their flavors as it roasts in the oven. And as with the beef, the aromatic bed acts as a trivet, raising the fish and allowing it to cook evenly.
Oh, yes, but... Oh. OK, très bien. Très bien. So voilà. Et voilà.
A coating of olive oil will add flavor and keep the fish moist as the oven's dry heat gently cooks it through.
13 minutes at 180 temperature.
While the turbot is roasting,
Voilà.
fry already cooked fennel, which will complement the herby tastes of the fish.
What a lovely note. I could stay here all day. So beautiful. Listen to that note. Wonderful, wonderful. Caramelized brown smell of fennel, orange, lemon, anise. And then what you do, always when you roast, baste a little bit This juice, this olive oil now, has got the most incredible flavor. Okay, so use it. My funnel now looks lovely. I smell them. And they're browning very nice. Oh la la, camera, s'il vous plaît. You must see that. Look at that, sir. Slow caramelization. A bit more salt. Very little. That takes a lot of practice. Very few people are able to do that.
Dress the fish with a buttery sauce. First, soften shallots in a little butter and water. Add white wine, tomatoes, chives and chervil to make a light, fresh, herby jus.
Lesser known herbs, but beautiful. Oh, so lovely, so simple.
Leave the roast turbot to rest.
So leave it 2 or 3 minutes and your fillet will be absolutely lovely.
This will intensify the flavors and firm up the flesh, which will be easier to cut. Serve the fish with the braised fennel and buttery sauce.
A very simple jus here. Then just move the skin away, the black skin, if you don't like it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And that is, look at that, how shiny it is. Look at that, how shiny it is, barely cooked. Now, you can see a fish overcooked when it's matte. Roasting is, gave the turbot, the wonderful fish, even more character. I mean, that is divine. That is very good.
Fish, meat, and even salad can be enriched by oven roasting. In this next recipe, beetroot, a tough root vegetable, is transformed, becoming sweet and tender when roasted. The beetroot is mixed with chicory and walnuts, then paired with a roasted goat's cheese in golden breadcrumbs to create a warm salad. A classic combination of flavors and techniques.
Cooking techniques, there's always a crossover. There's a bit of roasting, a bit of poaching, a bit of steaming, and that is typical of that dish. The roasted cheese is simple and straightforward. The beetroots, although they are roasted in the oven, actually they are being steamed through their own juices, their own steam, which will produce their own juice, which will be used for the dressing. So it's a bit of poaching, a bit of roasting. C'est la vie. Sometimes lines get blurred. Here it is. First, I got my beetroots from my garden, of course. I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky. That's bien. So they are seriously organic, okay? They have their own personality, but they are delicious. Voilà, très bien. Oh, see? I told you they have their own personality. All we're going to do is to cook them in a papillote. An envelope made of paper or aluminium, generally, where you wrap the food hermetically and you steam it within its own juices. So that's very, very simple.
Roasting breaks down the beetroot's tough cell walls, softening it as it cooks. Its earthy notes will sweeten as starch converts to sugar.
Then press it, fold it, voila. And you got the sealed papillotes here, which I'm going to bake for 2 hours, 160. Très bien. Oh, that's lovely. Of course, you can see they've lost their perfect shape. They're a little bit like me, unshapen, a bit of a bulge here, a little bit of a... Okay, because, of course, the water has gone out of them. A lot of water has gone out of it, okay? Then I've got this beautiful jus here of my olive oil, okay, which I'll keep, of course. Très bien. Look at that. They are beautiful. Oh, look at this color. Oh, the smell of it. The smell of it is so different than from poached with lots of water. Here, by roasting it in its own papillote, you add flavor.
The roasting juice becomes the base of the salad dressing. Add olive oil, shallots, and red wine vinegar. A splash of water to thin.
Yeah.
And season. Next, mix the chopped roasted beetroot and raw chicory into the dressing.
That is absolutely lovely.
The delicate goat's cheese adds a creamy texture to the salad.
Audrey is going to do this wonderful cheese from the Loire Valley.
First, dip the cheese in flour to help the beaten egg stick.
Tiny amount. Voilà.
This in turn will allow breadcrumbs soaked in olive oil to stick to the cheese and create a crispy coating as the goat's cheese roasts in the oven.
And voilà. So what you want here is fast roasting. So you will need 6 minutes at the highest temperature of your oven, which is about 230, to color, give a crust, and have a lovely melting inside. So voilà. Don't forget your timer. 6 minutes, that should do.
After just 6 minutes, the roast cheese is ready to come out of the oven.
Okay? Oh, I love to see that. Look at that cheese. Just melting down here, leaking out, just perfectly ripe. Leave it a few seconds to rest so the heat can go on to cook perfectly the inside of the cheese.
The goat's cheese becomes the centerpiece of the salad, which is sprinkled with crushed walnuts and chopped chives.
A simple little dish which can be prepared in advance. Goat cheese ready to go in the oven. Beetroot salad done. It's a no-brainer. It's an easy one and very lovely and delicious. Really lovely. That's why it mustn't be too hot, you know? Leave it 2 or 3 minutes. That's perfect now.
The goat's cheese salad shows that combining techniques is the secret to many successful dishes. But using different techniques to cook a single ingredient can have stunning results as well. Raymonde goes to London to meet chef James de Jong. He's reviving the age-old tradition of brining, a wet curing technique, in his quest for the perfect roast, and it's won him rave reviews. James learnt on the job, working in respected restaurant kitchens around the country. At just 25, he was fast-tracked to head chef of this North London gastropub's kitchen, famous for its roasts.
I've actually heard that you are the very best roaster in town. Not the best roast beef, the best roaster.
We kind of do things traditionally here. We don't use any kind of new modern techniques.
Okay.
We like to keep things quite simple.
You do a lot of roast. So how do you do it? Okay, what kind of brine you do? I mean,
We do a salt, brown sugar, juniper, star anise.
Brine is salted water infused with flavors.
okay, can we taste it?
Yeah.
It is typically used with poultry and pork before roasting. The meat is immersed in the liquid, so the salt can break down the muscle filaments. This allows the water to be taken in, making the meat incredibly juicy. Sugar is often added to counterbalance the salt.
Yep, it's not too aggressive, you know, because sometimes it can be so salty, you know, so aggressive. It's lovely.
It's almost kind of
beautiful
caramel.
taste of juniper berries.
Good flavours to kind of complement the pork. quite
Okay.
well.
How long do you brine it?
We brine it for 24 hours, a joint like this. We want to get that flavour of the brine into the pork, but we don't want it to be overpowering.
After soaking the pork loin in the brine for a day, James rubs olive oil into it before it roasts in the oven. The oil distributes the salt from the brine evenly, which will help the skin to crisp up.
You know, you touch your pig like if it was your lover.
It almost...
I mean,
Dude, you have to feel your
getting
meat.
very romantic
You have
here.
to feel your meat.
Absolutely, no, I fully understand.
While it roasts, the salt in the brine gives the pork a tender texture. The sugar adds another quality, producing a beautifully crunchy skin.
So this is one that's been brined overnight in the salt and brown sugar solution. And these two here haven't. And you can see the difference between kind of the colour on this and also, you know, a lot crispier, crackly. And that's just from the sugar in the brine, which has kind of caramelised it on the outside. So, you know, it does kind of pay off doing that little kind of extra step.
The brining takes the Sunday roast to another level. All that remains is for Raymonde to sample James's award-winning cooking.
There we go.
Sorry, that looks lovely.
Fantastic.
Beautiful and most, look at that. Beautiful and most. James, you're a genius.
Thank you very much. That's it.
Shall we drink
Yeah.
to good food,
Yep.
to the roast beef, and James, to life?
Cheers to life.
The Sunday roast mastered. Now the challenge of roasting a whole game bird. Its lean meat responds brilliantly to roasting, as it cooks quickly and evenly, adding richness to its unique flavour. This next recipe of roast pheasant, served with bread sauce and a fragrant berry jus, brings out the very best of British game.
I'm going to roast a beautiful bird. It's a lady bird. It's a young pheasant, a young female pheasant. How do I know? Look at the legs. Beautiful legs. No, it's a small pheasant. And that's perfect for roasting. The problem that we often have is the breast is quite tender, but the legs, my God, they can be so tough. And they can be. You know why? Because the pheasant, most of the time, run. And look at those legs. Beautiful legs, well formed, but full of tough ligaments, ossified, okay, which are running right through the legs, about 8 or 10. By removing these tough splinters, you make the legs so much more tender, and it will cook at the same time as the breast. That's very important when you cook any game bird. So here we are. Okay, I cut here, I liberate here, voila. And I can see the stick out here, maybe a bit of salt to have more grip, see? Voila. Look at that. Those are bones. Look at that. That is bone. Voila. Très bien. So now she's ready to be roasted. Now, ready.
Before roasting in the oven, the pheasant is pan-fried in rapeseed oil for around 4 minutes on each leg side. This begins the cooking process and gives a great nutty flavour.
Look at that, this color. Ah, heavenly. I think we should eat more game in this country. It's fantastic. It cannot be more free range than that. It's wild. It's delicious, wonderful flavor, easy to cook, low fat as well.
Once the pheasant skin has turned a golden brown, keep it in the frying pan with all its juices and place in a preheated oven at 170 degrees. After 20 minutes roasting in the oven, take the pheasant out.
Our pheasant is ready. There it is. It's beautifully gold outside, crispy as well. To rest it about 10 minutes before carving it. And put it in a warm place.
While the bird rests and the meat tenderizes further, the roasting juices left in the pan can be turned into a fruity sauce. Add port, juniper berries, red wine, red currant jelly, and blackberries.
That's really... There's a lot of jus in here that we're going to add to the sauce. So just carve here, very simple carve here like that.
The roast pheasant meat is perfectly pink and tender and sits on a bed of bread sauce.
The leg here, and then you've got this wonderful little jus here. You really don't need very much. It's tasty, it's simply to cook. It's relatively inexpensive as well, and so gorgeous. It cooks, it roasts so beautifully. Amazing flavors.
But don't just think of roasting for savory dishes. This classic technique, using one ingredient and its rich basting juices, creates stunning desserts too. In his next recipe, Raymonde roasts a pineapple, caramelizing the whole fruit, serving it with a pineapple crisp and a cool pineapple sorbet, a spectacular dessert, fit for a queen.
Of course, we all know pineapple is delicious just on its own, but this one, I'm going to roast it whole. The dry heat will completely brown and caramelize the pineapple. The juices will come out. I put a beautiful vanilla syrup as well onto it. So the caramelization will go on for 2 hours. It will show the wonderful technique of roasting. Actually, that's a dish which I created for the Queen Ma'am many, many years ago.
First, carefully peel the pineapple's prickly skin.
So don't go too much into the flesh. Parfait. Okay, très bien. I would like to do something fun, okay? Just something to add something to my dessert, something surprising. I've got my mandoline to do some pineapple sunflower. That's it.
The pineapple slices are soaked in a sweet water and sugar syrup. This balances the acidity of the pineapple and gives the slices a crisp texture when they're dried in the oven for an hour at 100 degrees.
I've got this wonderful pineapple here, but it's full of eyes. Too many eyes for me, looking at me. Too much, too many. So I'm going to remove those eyes. So you do it in little cuts. Oh, Raymond, you're a genius. Unbelievable. Look at that one. Voila. And just round the top here, So it's lovely and rounded and attractive. Voila, we've got our pineapple now. That's all my trimmings for my caramel, so nothing is lost.
The pineapple will be basted with a sweet caramel sauce as it roasts. For the caramel, mix sugar and unsalted butter.
Voila.
And flavour with the pineapple trimmings.
With a bit of skin, no problem.
Add 200 ml of water.
So bring back to simmering point, so there's a beautiful exchange, and cook it for about 15-20 minutes. No longer, you will kill the flavour.
And finally, with the sauce simmering, a Caribbean touch.
So rum, that's a special basting juice called rum, which really add that extra flavour. 30 grams roughly. You can always add more later.
While the sauce reduces, make a citrus sugar, which will add sweetness and a zingy flavour to the roasting pineapple. Grate the zest of a lemon, orange and 2 limes onto a bed of caster sugar.
Voilà, très bien, that's plenty. So then all what you have to do is to mix the sugar together. Okay, so now we have our pineapple, and I'm going to brush it with pure vanilla. Smell is good, amazing, but it's so lovely.
The puree of vanilla syrup will add another fragrant layer of flavour as the fruit roasts.
Voilà.
Roll the pineapple in the citrus sugar and finish by coating with the strained caramel sauce.
Make sure you use the right saucepan, because it's too small, you cannot baste, and then it's too wide, the caramel keeps evaporating. I'm going to roast the pineapple, 170 degrees for 2 hours.
Baste the pineapple with the caramel sauce every 15 minutes to keep it moist.
Okay, and the more you baste it, the more caramelization will happen. Deeper flavor, better exchange of flavors, you win all the way.
After 2 hours roasting in the oven, the sugars in the pineapple have caramelized to give it a rich golden brown coating. The dense fruit fibers have softened, producing a melt-in-the-mouth texture.
Hey, Benoît!
Aïe!
Viens là, viens un petit peu.
Ah, bien, super,
Okay, okay.
c'est joli, hein?
So, yes. Can you speak English, William?
Yes, I can make an effort for you with my very strong French accent for you.
You have a very strong French accent. It's unbelievable. I can hardly understand you.
Well, there we go. You take it or leave it. It's there. Oh, it's beautiful. You see it inside. It's just like, wow.
Benoit has made a refreshing pineapple sorbet to complement the sweet, sticky roast pineapple.
That's the expert, best patissier in England. Well, one of the very best patissiers in England. We worked together 17 years. How did we do that, Benoit?
I don't know.
To me, really, what you have here is the best of roasting, okay? You've got beautiful caramelized flavor. The pineapple is king on that plate. You can smell it from here.
So it's pineapple 3 ways, in fact, yeah? So you got the crisp, you got the roasting pineapple, and you got the sorbet, all pineapple kind of flavor. That's bon, ça.
Benoit,
Thank you very much.
Merci, excellent test. So let's arrange the dish, okay, together.
No problem. No
C'est
problem.
super. Tu fais pas la bise? Tu fais plus la bise? Ah, voilà. Merci.
Je vous embrasse. Allez, à bientôt.